Thank you for joining us for the Lakefront News. I'm Bianca Garcia. Homecoming is in full swing, but there are several events still taking place this weekend. On Saturday, November 4th, you can enjoy breakfast with the Sisters of Divine Providence. Later, there will be an alumni volleyball game. Several of the colleges will be showcased, even our very own Veronica Salazar Media Center, from 2 to 4 p.m. So make sure to check out the College of Arts and Sciences showcase. On Sunday, the last day of homecoming, you can finish the weekend off with a University Mass and Awards brunch. For more information, you can go to olualumni.com/homecoming 2017. Veterans Day is a day to recognize our veterans. This year, Our Lady of the Lake hopes to do just that with their annual Veterans Day ceremony. Our Lakefront reporter, Stephanie Garza, has more.
That's right. The Student Veterans of America and Dr. Wallace Sanborn are preparing for the upcoming events, and they're inviting the Olu community to join them at this special ceremony to say thank you and to honor veterans.
It's important to recognize the sacrifice that our men and women make.
Ramon Zortuche is Chief of Police here at Olu, and he is a veteran who served in the Marine Corps.
I served from 1988 to 1992, and I was in the first Gulf War from 1990 to 1991.
Veterans Day is observed on Friday, November 10th, and the ceremony will be held from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. in the Our Lady of the Lake Mall area in an effort to recognize and give thanks to our veterans.
If you know anyone who served, to just, go out of it's not even like going out of your way, but just to say thank you and just showing that little extra step of respect for the sacrifice that they made.
This year, Fred Rivera will be the featured speaker at this ceremony. Mr. Rivera is a Vietnam veteran and a veteran of the United States Army. Mr. Rivera will also sign copies of his Pulitzer Prize-nominated novel, Raw Man, after the ceremony from 1:30 to 2 p.m. These events are just another way for the community to give their thanks and to recognize veterans.
I'd like to thank all the veterans, past, present, and our future veterans, graduates that will be going into the service. For me and my family, I thank them for their service.
Remembering all the veterans who have served, I'm Stephanie Garza for Lakefront News.
Thank you, Stephanie. Election Day is Tuesday, November 7th. Here's what you need to know before heading to the polls. Polls will open up at 7 a.m. and will remain open until 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Eligible voters across Bexar County and Texas will vote on several constitutional amendments, and some area cities will decide on local races as well. The deadline to register and be eligible to vote in Tuesday's election was on October the 10th. If you are wondering whether or not you are eligible to vote, you can check your registration status online by going to Am I Registered and filling in the requested information, or by calling your county voter registrar's office. You do not need to bring your voter registration card with you to vote, but it is recommended. You do have to bring one of these acceptable forms of ID: a driver's license, election identification certificate, Texas ID, concealed handgun license, military ID, or a passport. And if you are unsure about your polling station location, search Where to Vote in your browser and find the Bexar County Elections Department on www.bear.org. You will be prompted to enter your street address or zip code to find your precinct and polling location. Free rides are also offered. Visit votetexas.gov for more information. Also on Tuesday, employees of Our Lady of the Lake will be giving back to the community. It's all a part of Olu Employee Service Day. It will take place from 9:15 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on November 7th in the convent. All volunteer positions have been filled, but the university plans on hosting another Employee Service Day in the spring. Our Lady of the Lake celebrated Dia de los Muertos with a series of events this past week. The Department of English, Mass Communication, and Drama constructed the Dia de los Muertos altar. The community was invited to pay tribute to friends and family members that have passed away. The altar featured traditional artifacts, including sugar skulls, food, candles, crosses, and pictures of loved ones that have passed. November 1st is Dia de los Muertos, the Mexican holiday when families build an altar to honor the dead. Did you know you could get free tuition at Our Lady of the Lake? Lakefront reporter Brother Monty has more.
Be very helpful to graduate early or to catch up on classes, because I know that I'm missing 2 or 3 classes that I dropped or wasn't able to take in previous summers, so I think a grant like that would be really helpful.
The Wings Up Summer Tuition Grant will give students the option to get 6 to 8 credits in the summer for free.
The Wings Up grant is modeled after the ACCD, the Alamo College District's Summer Momentum Plan, where they're encouraging students to take a full load, and if they pass a certain number of hours, they would get 3 hours of tuition waived in summer. Our program goes a little bit further than that, in that we're asking students who complete 30 hours after 60 junior status would be waived up to 6 to 8 hours, so 2 classes in the summer.
The grant will only cover tuition fees.
I feel like every class should be more aware of this kind of grant. Like maybe somebody go through all the classes and mention it, or there'd be more promotion for it. That way more juniors and seniors could apply for it and possibly get this opportunity.
In order to be eligible for this grant, students would have to have completed a total of 30 college credits in the previous fall and spring semesters combined, as well as be enrolled for the upcoming fall semester.
That it really was birthed in the heart of President Melby. We have done some NESE data, which is a National Student Engagement Survey. And the data basically show that we have 70-some% of our seniors may not be able to return or don't return because they've run out of financial aid. And so the key in all this is helping students to make satisfactory academic progress to graduate.
Thank you, Brother Monty. Olu has welcomed Sean Como as the new Director of Dining Services. Como has worked in a variety of food service settings, including hotels, delis, and restaurants. He has also worked in the sports and entertainment industry for the Houston Rockets, our very own San Antonio Spurs, and the Seattle Seahawks. Women's soccer ended in its 2017 season with a divisive 4-0 win over LSU Shreveport. The Saints finished with a 6-10 overall record and a 4-6 in the Red River Athletic Conference. LSU moves to 4-10-2 overall and 2-8 in conference. Both teams did not qualify for the tournament this season. Prior to the game, the Saints honored their seniors, including team manager Cynthia Duke, 2-year senior Alyssa Barrientos, and 4-year seniors Grayson Manfredo and Maggie Miller. Up next, we have Brother Monty with our Sister of the Week.
Providence is there, whether we experience it fully or less fully at times in our lives, but trust that God is going to be there for you. There is a call, and that there is something that God has for each person, and it's so distinctive, but I think we have to be patient and let whatever that is evolve. I grew up in central Louisiana, and my teachers were from a community in Lafayette. They did not have a high school, so the only high school in town was the girls' high school where the Sisters of Divine Providence taught. And so that was my first contact with the sisters, and somehow, how does one experience a call? It happens. I remember thinking, you know, God, I don't really want to do this, but what I absolutely do want is whatever you want, but you'll have to let me know. So I really prayed and spent time with the sisters. I started out teaching in high school for 5 years before I came here to teach at the university. So I enjoyed that very much. I had a 6-year period where I was on the general council earlier in my life, and I had 6 years in which I worked with the young women coming into the congregation. So I was novice director. So what's the highlight, I guess, is not a specific instance, but the great privilege of being a member of this community and being able to serve the folks around us. I love Our Lady of the Lake. I love its mission. It's been very important to me for many, many years.
That's all we have for the Lakefront News. I'm Bianca Garcia, and we will see you next week.